What is going on, guys? Back with another video. So just when you think altcoins are dead, just when you think there is no altcoin season, just when you think everything is about Bitcoin, Trump goes and comes out with this crypto strategic reserve, which will include the likes of Ripple, Solana, and Cardano. And you're going to notice there is a very big importance put on US based coins. And this is something which is huge. It's very good news for altcoin investors. Ethereum investors, of course, we want Ethereum to perform. No mention of Ethereum, but in terms of altcoins, in terms of the potential for altcoin season, this does look really good, guys, because it shows you that we all thought it's a Bitcoin only season. It just shows you that the unexpected always happens. So you can see here, US crypto reserve will elevate this industry after years of corrupt attacks, which is why my executive order on digital assets will move forward on a crypto strategic reserve. So, this is probably just the start. We could potentially see more of altcoins, but we probably will see more altcoins get put into this strategic reserve. And there is going to be a sort of importance on US based coins, guys. So I'm going to talk about 5 US based crypto coins, which I think are going to be good investments, which can give you some good returns. Of course, none of this is financial advice, but I do think you should have exposure. You should have a few coins in your portfolio which are US based, because we could potentially see, some tax benefits, tax cuts for, holders, for builders. So, this is something to definitely look into. Now, the first coin, which I think is going to perform really well, is Sui, one of the best and, newest layer ones. Now, of course, it has already performed really well, and you can see how it reacted to the news of this crypto strategic reserve, up literally, close to 10%, coming down from, $2.80 all the way to nearly $3.10 in the space of literally an hour. So, Sui is a project now 10 billion market cap. I think, it's a very good project. Layer ones, we've seen how quiet they've been lately, but Sui is going to continue to perform well. They've already developed a huge ecosystem, different narratives. You've got AI, you've got RWA, you've got gaming, you've got memes, and they continue to perform, and it's going to continue to build in the future. So, why I like Sui is I think, what they're doing within the industry, the partnerships they have, what they're doing in relation to, the infrastructure in terms of how cheap and how fast the transactions are, ticks the box. And when you look at the ecosystem that they've already developed, it is a massive ecosystem. So I think when you look at something like Sui, of course you are not going to be getting something like a 20, 10, 20, 30x. I think Sui is for those investors who are looking for something like a 5, maybe a 6, maybe a 7x, guys. I think is what you need to look for. It's something which I think acts as if it's like a safety net in your portfolio. But I do think Sui is definitely going to perform well, and it's a project which is based within the USA, I believe. Now, just a quick note, guys. Just make sure you double check on the project. This is according to CoinGecko, CryptoRank, CoinMarketCap. Just make sure you research coins in the list and make sure they are US based. But for my research, I do believe these are all correct. The second project is AVAX, another very solid layer one. Just going back to the all-time highs is around a 5 to 6x, and I think it can even go higher than that, potentially giving you up to a 10x. 5 to 10x would be my sort of prediction. Now, the reason I like AVAX, guys, it is an older project, it is an older layer one, but you have to remember, guys, they've been growing their ecosystem throughout the bear market. Now, AVAX has a huge ecosystem. If you look at the TVL, it's up there, and it continues to grow. Different narratives in terms of infrastructure. You've got DeFi, you've got different DEXs, you've got gaming, you've got AI, you've got RWA, you've got memes. So, AVAX is a project which have developed. A lot of projects have just completely abandoned throughout the bear market. AVAX is one of those projects which has stayed, consistent with their developments. So for me, AVAX is a very good pick. Very high quality project, huge backers, huge partnerships, and ultimately it's a project which I do believe is going to perform well. 10 billion market cap for me, I think potentially can give you a 5, maybe a 10x at a push, but probably a 5, 6, 7x, similar to something like Sui. The third project, Ondo, some people might disagree with me, but you cannot deny the amount of backers this project has. Biggest RWA project with the likes of Mantra, and I do think it is cheaper than Mantra. I do think this can give you some huge returns, guys. And you can see how it reacts to these news in relation to the strategic reserve. 3.4 billion market cap, guys. Of course, the tokenomics are not the best. A lot of the supply is in with, insiders, the team, the backers. But you need to understand the likes of partners they have, guys. You've got the likes of BlackRock, you've got the likes of Ripple, Franklin Templeton, you've got the likes of, Wellington Management, you've got Goldman Sachs. So you've got huge institutes who are backing Ondo. With their Ondo chain, it's going to continue to grow this project, and it's really going to perform well, going to be the main, or aiming to be the main network for real world assets. And with it being based in the US, I think, really this can potentially give you a 10x, which would be, 34 billion market cap, which I think is, very possible. So Ondo would be, a project to definitely look into. Again, it's not going to give you, 20, 30x, but I think 5 to 10x is definitely on the cards for a project like Ondo. You've just seen, guys, how fast some of these coins can move in the space of literally an hour. So what do you think is going to happen when we come into, full blown altcoin season? The next coin on the list, guys, is going to be Psy, a steal of a buy, in my opinion. $1.2 billion market cap. And again, you can see it reacts to, this news of the strategic reserve. It is US based, I believe. And what I like about Psy is fresh layer one, looking to solve, EVM compatibility issues. And on top of that, they've already grown a good, solid ecosystem, wide range of different narratives. You've got gaming, you've got AI, you've got RWAs, and they also have an importance of onboarding different financial institutes, offering them different use cases within financial instruments, whether it's trading, commodities, and also real estate. So I think it's a good project. It gives you sort of that combination of a layer one and then also sub narratives such as RWA. So I do think very solid project, and you can see here very cheap and also very fast to transact on. Now, for me, what I like about Psy, of course, some people might see it as a negative. You can see the backers they have, huge tier one investors who are going to continue to push and invest. And, they want this to succeed. And, at the current market cap, this still has huge potential. I can see this doing potentially a 10, maybe even a 15x, guys. I honestly think it's on the cards. Very good project. And, they've been developing at a very solid rate. Huge ecosystem, huge use case for institutions, financial. So for me, very solid project. Now, the next one is another layer one. I like to look at it something similar to Psy. It is a bit more different. There is more sort of importance within RWA. Plume Network, another very good project. Now, this is sort of a mid cap. This is 319 million. Of course, fully diluted valuation is a bit high, but the vesting is not the worst. It's not too bad. Of course, DC into these projects, guys, but it's been holding up pretty well, guys, right? And the reason it's holding up really well is because they continue to develop, they continue to come out with new partnerships, and also they're backed by huge tier one investors, and they also have huge partnerships, guys, right? So, they've also got links to Ondo, and the main thing with this, guys, is they've been developing, they've been growing the ecosystem, and you can see here already, they've grown 80 million addresses, 280 million transactions, and you can see the amount of different projects and protocols developing using Plume. Huge integrations, you've got credit protocols, you've got infrastructure, yield, lending, you've got dexes on this as well. So for me, Plume is another solid layer one, also within RWA, which is really going to perform well, and I think it can really give you some big returns. 300 million market cap, guys. I can see this potentially giving you a 20x, potentially even more, but again, I'm just trying to be a bit conservative. Very good project, and they're continuing to develop at a very good pace. The final project on the list, guys, another layer one. You're probably thinking, why am I covering so many layer ones, guys? You need to understand, layer ones are king of crypto in terms of developing. We need these layer ones for different projects to build upon. Now, Injective, of course, some people might think, well, it's an old project. Is it still a good investment? Now, in my personal opinion, I do prefer the likes of Psy, Plume, and Sui, but Injective has sort of an importance on financial. It's looking to be one of the main chains for finance. And you can see here, they've got a variety of different sort of, aspects to it. You've got plug and play modules here. You've got, it's very fast, it's cheap. And, they've got huge partnerships with, different sort of RWA backers, dexes, and also big institutes as well. So again, I think it is a decent, project. You can see it's very fast to transact on, and it's also very cheap. And, they've developed a big ecosystem, but for some reason, some people prefer to invest in fresher projects, which I do understand. But Injective is something which I think will really perform well. It is also US backed as well. And, they continue to develop. They've been developing throughout the bear market. So, again, 1.3 billion market cap. I think, again, this could potentially give you a 10x. which would be around 13 billion, guys. So just a quick video, guys, on some US based coins. Of course, I will update this list. I will bring you more projects, but I think this gives you a good variety. You've got some high caps for your safety net. You've got something like Plume, which is like a mid cap / low cap, you could call it. Then you've got something like Psy, which is sort of in the middle, which I think is a really good buy. So yeah, guys, let me know your thoughts. Let me know your favorite US backed coins. And this is of course really good news for altcoins. We just have to continue to hold, and I do think more good news will come out in the future. So yeah, guys, hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, don't forget to subscribe and drop a like, and I'll see you very soon for the next video.